Hi, today is the 20th of November and I'm going to be giving a weekly prediction of where SPX is going to go for the week ending on the 25th of November 2022. So let's go through the levels of SPX from last week. The open was 3977.97, the high was 4028.84, the low was 3906.54, and the close was 3965.33. There was a minus 12.64 point change. It is a negative change, but it's very minor, which is why the candle of the week is a doji, and I'll explain that in a bit. The volume was 12.036 billion, which was lower than last week, and the spot right now is 3965.33. The December future estimate is 3971.50, and the basis is 6.17. So, now that we've covered all of the values of SPX, let's get into the analysis. So, candlestick patterns. For the weekly candlestick pattern, you can see here that the current candle is a doji, which shows market indecision and the doji candles after a big bullish candle. So an immediate prediction that you can make here is that it's probably a bullish indication where the sellers are now trying to gain momentum. And the same case is in the daily. And here, as you can see, the last candle in the daily is a doji again. However, in the daily candle, the real body is even smaller. Same thing. For both of these, it requires at least one or two candles after to get a clear directional view. So, from the candlestick patterns, we can derive that to get a directional view for the SPX, we need one candle at least showing a clear directional movement. Price action. Now, this is where things get interesting. As you can see here on the daily chart, I have drawn two lines, which create a rising wedge, with both lines pointing upwards, and eventually it will cross into a triangle. However, rising wedges usually have downward breakouts, but as you can see here, there has been a shortfall, which is a very, very strong indicator of an upwards breakout. This is something to keep in mind. As of the trend, there are higher highs as I have drawn here. This is the upward trend line, and there are lower lows, which can also be seen here. However, they're at an angle, so it makes an edge. This again confirms the fact that we are currently in an uptrend, and the doji might just be a sign of indecision as of now. As aforementioned, there's a shortfall in the daily chart showing an upward reversal. And here, the same thing can be seen in the weekly. There is a doji candle at the end in the rising wedge, and after going up, there hasn't been a shortfall because there hasn't been a candle, but this can be considered a downfall because the low is lower than the high of this candle, which has almost no wick, and then it goes back up. So this can be considered as a shortfall on the weekly candle. To further back up this point, the ADX levels of the DMI plus are 29.5145, the DMI minus is 19.7133, and the ADX is 18.8369. The values clearly show that we're currently in an uptrend. The RSI doesn't indicate anything because the weekly RSI is 50.03 and the daily RSI is 58.63, which is in the middle, so it doesn't really give a clear show of strength. The SMA, however, makes it a bit more interesting. For the weekly SMA, the current spot price is higher than the 20-week and the 200-week average, which is a very, very good bullish indicator. The 50-week average is higher, but the fact that there are two averages that it is higher than is still a good bullish indicator. And in the daily SMAs, this can again be seen because the spot price of 3965 is higher than the 8-day, 13-day, 21-day, and the 50-day average. It's not higher than the 200-day average, but it's higher than all the other four. The weekly Bollinger Band shows an upper level of 4310.99, a middle of 3915.76, and a lower of 3520.52, and in the weekly we can see an upper band of 4036.42, a middle of 3866.30, and a lower of 3696.18. For the pivot point levels, for monthly, the R3 is 4588, R2 is 4228.13, R1 is 4096.73, the pivot point is 3897.44, support 1, support 2, support 3 is 3766.04, 3566, and 3236. For the weekly, it goes 4211.50, 4089, 4027, 3966, 3904, 38443, and 3722. For the daily, it is 4048, 4004, 3984, 3960, 3940, 3916, and 3872. The immediate resistance is 4028.56, and the immediate support is 3910.29. The next support is 3858.12, The next resistance is 4117.26. Now that we've covered all of the levels to look out for, the next part is the option chain. So here, for the monthly expiry, the highest CE level in which the highest open interest is at 4,000 and the highest PE is also at 4,000. As you can see on bar chart, we're going to open up the monthly option chain for the 16th of December, and we go down to 4,000. Here, 4,000 has an open interest of 142,896. There is no other value in the open interest which is higher than this, showing a clear barricade here. Next, if we go down to the PE, similarly, if we go down to the 4,000 mark, we can see that the open interest is 152,322. Yet again, the highest, showing that 4,000 is an extremely strong level, and most likely traders are doing strategies where they're using the combined premium of the CE 4000 at 80.10 and the PE 4000 at 107.80 to create a range where if the market stays in the range, they're making money. The put to call ratio is 1.45, showing that there are more puts sold, which is another indicator that the market has a slightly bullish view as of now. Next, let's talk about the same thing but for the weekly. So I mentioned that this is for the week ending on the 25th of November, 2022. So if we open up the chart for the 25th of November, 2022, here, then we can see that the highest CE is 4,100 and the highest PE is 3,750 in terms of open interest. And these are clear barriers. So let's scroll down to 4,100. As you can see, at the 4,100 mark, the open interest is 5,238, which is the highest. And if we scroll up, you won't see any open interest higher, which is the first barricade. Now we go down to the PE, and here we can see that the highest PE open interest is at 3750. So let's scroll down to 3750. Here again, we can see that 5951 is the highest value for open interest. So similar, not really similar, but in a way, here 4,100 and 3750 are the barriers to look out for in the weekly expiry date. And as you can see, both of these levels meander around the level 4,000, which shows that if the market proceeds to break 4,000 in the monthly expiry, it's a very good bullish indicator. And if it proceeds to 4,100, again, this is also a bullish indicator because the fact that there are very high CE riders showing that there should be a barricade and the momentum should shift to the seller's direction. And if it does break this is extreme confirmation that there is a bullish sentiment in the market. The premium for 4,100 CE is 1.80 and 3,750 is 1.05. Finally, for the daily expiry. So the daily expiry is on the 21st of November, 2022. If we go here, it shows that the highest CE open interest is at 4,000. Yet again, 4,000 is a recurring number, showing it's a very strong point. And if at any point it breaks this level and confirms, it shows that the market is very bullish because it's breaking the barricades of all the call sellers. And for the PE, it's 3,800. So let's go to 4,000 for the CE. Here, as you can see, 4,000's open interest is at 3,692. And there is no value in this table which is higher than this. And for the PE, it was 3,800. So we go to 3,800, and here the open interest is 5,514. So these are also some barriers that might occur. Based on all of this information, we can see that the doji candle shows a bit of indecision. However, the fact that the market is above its averages, it is very close to the barricade of 4,000. And if it does break this, it's confirmation showing that after the doji, the market's indecision shifted to a bullish sentiment. There's a rising wedge. Generally, there are downward breakouts and rising edges. However, because of the shortfall, highly bullish indicator. So, as of now, my prediction is that there is a possible upside. So, if the market closes above the value of 3,965.33, my prediction was right. And if it closes under it, I was wrong. And there will be a review next week explaining what happened. But this is all for today, and I'll see you next week based on the review for my prediction.